Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kelle Rae, and I'm here with my husband Kyle. And over here on my channel, I talk about all things love and family. So today we're going to be talking about a big question we've been pondering, we've been wondering about. Is getting married at a young age a mistake?
Kind of controversial. Guess we'll find out.
Every situation is unique, and what may be a pro and con for one couple might not be for the other. And it's important for couples to be careful considering their personal circumstances and priorities before making a decision about marriage at a young age.
And with that, I guess we'll start dropping our opinion.
I guess we'd like to start with the pros because we're very much, I'm a positive person. I know Kyle can sometimes sway in the negative.
Wow, okay. Thanks.
You can sway as like the devil's advocate or just you know what I'm saying? Like not negative, but you can kind of be more of like thinking about
pessimistic, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
That's true, I guess. Sometimes.
Yeah. So we're going to start with pros because I think getting married at a young age has a lot to do, has a lot of pros.
Well, yeah. Let's go through the pros first, and then we'll.
Okay.
Don't want to reveal
what we
end,
think
right?
about whether or not it's a mistake. So the first pro is that you could have shared experiences. Getting married at a young age can provide couples with the opportunity to share life experiences and grow together. And couples who get married young often experience significant milestones, such as graduating college, starting their new career.
So I think with me and Kelly, at least, that's been one of the best parts is hitting these milestones together because we are so young. So we are having a lot of first time experiencing things and being able to share that together. As I've grown with my career and we've traveled from Arizona to Florida, back to Arizona to California, back to Arizona.
That's so much fun. Yeah. I really enjoy all the experiences we've had so far, and to be able to experience that at a young age with you has been very good. A couple of the milestones we've kind of reached was my 21st birthday, which I really enjoyed. You know, I didn't get to enjoy it because I was pregnant, but I really did get to enjoy like spending time with you. And growing in that way where it's like, oh, like I was underage and now I'm like overage, like over the legal limit, you know? So now I can actually like do these fun things with you because you've always been
So
over
like
21.
really I'm like the first guy to be able to take you on a date and buy you a drink. Yeah. So it's like, you know, kind of neat, you know, nobody has ever had that experience with you besides me, and so it's like having our first kids, because I think there are with so many other people, you know, they might start a family and then, you know, join another family, and so for us to be able to share that first child together and even our second, or you know, first boy, first girl, like I think those were some of the best experiences, just to be there with you while you were having the baby.
Yeah, and then we also experienced our first pandemic together, you know. I'm so happy that we made it through that together, and we're still married. And we're still going strong, hopefully.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm just like happy to have gone through some of these experiences with you, and I think like without you, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, that's true. I guess to kind of rely on each other, you know, with like the pandemic, a lot of people felt alone, and we had each other. So
more time to start a family. Starting a family early in life can provide couples with more time to raise their children and potentially have more children if desired.
Yeah. So with the second part of that, I feel like we're both kind of like we're happy with two, and we're not at all eager to have more.
There's no desire there.
Yeah. So maybe that one doesn't pertain to us, might pertain to somebody else. But I think the first one definitely does, to
Starting
be able to
a family and having more time to do that.
Yeah.
I really do like the fact that we did start young and we started early. That way, like, we do have more time to spend with our kids, like in a sense where it's like we're young, we can run around with them, like we can do a lot of things with our kids now. And I'm glad that we're able to like be able to have that experience, you know. And it's because like we made the decision to get married young together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that really helps us. Like, we both knew that we wanted to be married and to start a family, and to do that at a young age, because like that's the most important thing to us. So why delay that? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think family was like top of our list. Like that was like the very first thing we talked about and like connected on, and like really felt that we were like eye to eye on that subject. Yeah. So that was very telling as to like, you know, like this person, I'm really happy that we did decide to marry young. Yeah. Otherwise we would have like wasted time, maybe would have regretted it. So I'm glad that we did that sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it gives us a lot of purpose.
Yeah.
So. And then so number 3 is stronger commitment. Couples who get married young may feel a stronger sense of commitment and dedication to each other, as they have made a major life decision together at a young age. So I think that that's very true. You know, like, I mean, I'm not an older person, so, and I've never been married multiple times, but I feel like if I was older, more established, more set in my ways, like maybe some things
you wouldn't
put up with, or like, because we kind of talked about this before we were filming, and that's kind of what we talked about, is like, if you're not really like set as a person, it can kind of influence you, but then also vice versa. Like if you are very set as a person and you try to like team up with somebody and partner up with somebody, like if you're not willing to bend a little bit, it can, you know, then it could end up not working out. So
yeah, I agree. I think, you know, in the beginning we didn't really take the time to like really sit and realize like our differences and like some of the things that we were set in our ways about. And so we really have to like work through those things now and like realize that you know, we made a strong commitment to each other, and then like those things we can kind of like work through together.
And I think that is really like something that does hold us together, is, hey, like we've made this commitment, and like, you know, I see you kind of like straying off doing your own thing, like what's going on with that, and we kind of hold each other accountable and really build together like this life that we wanted. So and I guess that kind of ties into like our cons too, because we got married at a young age. Like it's kind of like partially is like we're naive, and so we're jumping into this and like, hey, we're gonna give this our all
and make it work
make it work no matter what. But
and
it's
so
like
we
were kind of naive, and it's like if you have that life experience and you know what's coming, like then you can, you know, maybe you're already kind of reserved,
and you can kind of like brace yourself for it, or just like not prevent things from happening, but you can kind of just like work through them better because you have like better coping skills and like better like decision making and things like that, because you're a little bit older.
See, I think that'll tie in nicely.
So we're gonna move on to the cons, and the first con is lack of life experience. Getting married at a young age can mean that couples have less life experience, which could make it harder to navigate challenges and conflicts that arise in a marriage.
Yeah. So I think, this is hard because I want to play like the pro side of it too, though. But like,
we're talking about cons.
Yeah. So just cons.
Lack of life experience.
Yeah, there have definitely been things where like we've discovered something about ourselves that we didn't know even before we got married. And now having to deal with that not only on an individual basis, but as a couple. That can be very difficult. So
then there's just things that we just don't really know. Like we can't figure out how to like make it work, and then like we're just like then we have to ask for help, and we have to like, you know, reach outside of ourselves to try to find you know, the help that we need to like make it through these obstacles. Like a lot of times I find myself reaching out to my mom because I'm like, I don't know what to do about this certain situation, or there's something wrong with the kids, or maybe they're sick, or they have a fever or something like that, and then I just have to, you know, reach out to my mom. We've reached out to your dad a lot as well. He's a very wise person, and we do look up to him, and we do ask him for a lot. And like we've just like really reached out to the people who
Yep. Shout out to you, Dad and Mom. My mom was there for Lola, and she's been there a lot of the times. Like actually being able to support us in person. So
so having the support really helps with the lack of life experience.
So that's kind of maybe.
But if you didn't have the support, that really would be very difficult, like to navigate.
Yeah. So a con is, you're less established in many ways too, and that kind of ties into number two is financial strains. Is you haven't had time to build a career, to build savings, to build anything. We didn't have a house. I mean, I had
we don't have a house.
Yeah, we don't have a house. But we didn't really. I had a motorcycle and a little car that ended up blowing up.
And
roommates. And
I live with my family still.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did get married, we're still figuring a lot of those things out. Financially, I feel like we've grown in places, and we've also had our tough times, and we've been very decision making wise with money. We're not that as savvy, as money savvy, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we're still learning, but that's part of the cons is, if you jump right into marriage or a long-term relationship even, you don't get that time to really build and grow by yourself and to figure things out. And that ties into number three, which is the limited personal growth. And so getting married at a young age can limit personal growth and exploration, as couples may feel tied down to their spouse and their responsibilities.
And then we added responsibilities right on after getting married. So that was also a very difficult decision to make. And then just to get married, and then you add on kids into the picture as well. So now you're tied down by not only by your husband or your wife, by your spouse. You're tied down.
Yeah. You will be tied down to your husband. So
you're tied down to your spouse, and then also to your children. So it's very difficult for you to grow personally, and then you start getting lost in your marriage, and then in your parenting, and being with your kids all the time. You stop realizing what is important to you, and what makes you happy, and what makes you tick, and what, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to
it's important to set time aside for that, yourself. Even when you get married.
Yeah, I agree.
There's been a lot of times where we get too wrapped up in what we're doing, and or we're going through something, and the other one can't really understand, and it can be very difficult sometimes. So
yeah. Do you think getting married at a young age is a mistake?
I think that it can be for certain people. I think for me, it would have been a mistake to not get married, because I am the kind of person who I need responsibilities. I need something to work towards, to work for. And I didn't really have in my life what's the reason, and now it's my family, my kids, you, the goals that we want to achieve in life. And so for me, it would have been a huge mistake to not get married and to not start having building our family young. This is literally why I am the man that I am, and why I've grown so much, is because I've had to. I'm the kind of person that I have to learn the hard way. I have to go through the trials. And so for me, this is exactly how it had to happen for me to live my best life. So
yeah, I think I agree with you too, where it's I can be told something a lot, but then I never fully know until I go through it myself.
Yeah,
and then I'm oh, well, I understand why it's so hard now. What people were saying.
Yeah, because so we both had young parents. I'm the first child. My parents were teenagers when they got married and had me.
I'm the third child. My parents were still teenagers. My mom and my dad were in their early 20s. Yeah, when they had me.
Yeah, so both of our parents, growing up, we saw them struggle, and my parents never really advised me not to get married young, but I kind of, from other people, kind of that was kind of the thing, is oh, you want to wait to get married, you want to wait to have kids, you want to figure your stuff out first, but all that went way over my head.
When you met me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I fell head over heels for you, and so.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a hard-headed person, and so like I'm very strong-willed, and if I know, like if I want something, I get it. And like for me, I just felt like I really wanted a family and I really wanted to have kids, and I was in the place where I was just like, I want this so badly, and then I got it, and it was just like now I'm in the thick of everything, and it's very, very like difficult, but it's a good life lesson, and like learning through the struggle is like what we're both learning to do.
Yeah, I think that's
screaming right now.
Yeah, Liam does not want to take his nap. I think that's our biggest strength and one of our biggest strengths and one of our biggest weaknesses is we both are, if we want something, we have to have it.
Yeah.
And
even if it was a mistake.
Yeah. So
for us, the marriage wasn't a mistake. Some other decisions we made along the way have been mistakes.
Yeah.
But I think the ultimate decision to get married young, I do not think that was a mistake. I think that it was right for us.
Yeah. So learning curve and
Yeah. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.